First cast. What a lovely start. Morning. Hello again. Thanks for tuning in. So you join me today on the banks of an old gravel pit, old weedy pit. Fished here before, done a couple of videos here already. I've come for a nice morning, early morning session. I'm fishing meat on waggler. Not fished here since last year. And I've got tench first pour in. Now, some of you will recognise this venue. The owner, doesn't mind me filming, I'm not allowed to mention where it is. Any comments on the channel have to be deleted off. Anything related to the venue are going to have to be deleted off. I can't leave them on. We can't discuss where it is. So apologies for that if you don't know where it is. He just doesn't like lots of people coming down. But it's a lovely old place. Really well established. All the fish are natural. And it's got a good holding of tench. And some lovely roach as well, bream. I just bumped that one. It's one of my favourite places to fish. I mean, we all love tench. Tench fishing is one of the prettiest fish. If you saw the previous video I did here, that was a late evening session in glorious sunshine in September. That was last September. So we're into September 2022 now. I'm just putting on a piece of 8mm meat. Plenty of hook showing. It looks like they're in the mood. I've only cut up one tin at the moment. 1 tin of lunch meat. Plum rose, you can buy it from most supermarkets. There's some big tench in here as well. But not double figure. 4, 5, 6 pounders, maybe even bigger than that. Because I'm here first thing in the morning, I'm hoping to capitalise on the early morning feeding session. Maybe pick up one or two of those big ones. I've bought some Warburton's bread with me and some sweet corn. I've got some leftover castor and maggots. Just a few change baits. This luncheon meat's not working. Slow sink, I missed it. I'm fishing 6-pound line straight through. I'll have a look at the rig in a bit more detail. I think I've got about 6, 7 foot of depth on. I'm just patching in. Some more piles of meat. I struck a bit early on the last couple, so I'm going to let it take it next time. Tench can be really finicky, there's a grub around the bottom. took it and bent the rod over. It's not a big one. There's a lot less weed in it this year. I think it's been fished quite a lot. I think they've been pulling the weed out. Probably been raking it. It's got a bit of weed on it. Lovely one. Beauty. Using a net today, but I've only come for a few hours. Not come for a long session. It's early September now and the temperature's dropped off. Held up on weed. So the place is full of oxygenating weed. Float can get held up quite a bit. So as the bait's dropping, sits in the weed, float doesn't cock properly. I'm using a long stem. Oh, missed that. Using a long stem waggler. We'll go through the rig in a bit more detail. Quite a brisk wind today as well. Westerly, I think. The forecast a bit warmer this afternoon. Maybe the odd shower. Keeping at carp doing this. Some big carp in here. Not many, so it's a natural venue, nothing's been stocked. I think one of the locals told me there's half a dozen to a dozen decent carp, up to about £20 I think. Just another one. Not putting my rod down off the last one. And again. Oh, come off. That's 3 bumped now. Not going to strike quite so early. The next one's. One, 2 nudges on this one. A bit of a lift bite. Not striking much too early on the ones I've lost. Just got to get a chance to take it. Maybe a little on this one. slippery, or a little dainty, this one. Slippery as eels though. Don't like being held. When I was 14, 15, I worked on a farm in Leicestershire and went to the little farm pond was a deep gravel pit, and that's when I first started fishing with luncheon meat for tench. Fishing next to one of the platforms, I had about 40 tench one evening. Not massive ones, up to £3 or £4, but I've got a photo of them somewhere. To dig out my old photos out the loft. That's when I thought, yeah, tench really absolutely love luncheon meat. Find it irresistible, I think. They'll eat almost anything. And I find cut the luncheon meat up fresh just before I use it, so it's got a really strong scent to it, and it's still in its pinky colour. It's even more effective. So I've literally just cut up this one tin. Oh, I missed that. Talking to you, I missed that one. And they'll come onto it straight away. Only little in so far, but it's 5-3. 5 to me, 3 to the fish at the moment. But these sessions, you only have to come for 2, 3, 4 hours. You give a right bag full. If they're in the mood. I can remember one of the best tench sessions I've ever had. It was at Old Lakes at Rainworth. A session, I plan to do a session there in the near future. Yeah. And that, went to the second pond. The furthest walk. Got my big one. God, they don't off fight. Tench are hard fighting fish anyway, but I think in natural venues, the lake bed's full of invertebrates and all the weeds full of shrimp. I hope it makes them extra strong. They look very healthy anyway. pristine fish, beautiful. Yeah, and I went to this, it was a day to today, it was murky, better rain, gentle breeze. I didn't really think it was anything more than a normal day. And Alex is a nice place to fish, not known for bagging up, not really. I think I fished peg 1 or peg 2 on the second lake as you walk up, and I must have had £100 of tench. And I've tried it since. I mean, they were good fish. 2, 3, 4 pounders, moster, that sort of stamp. Probably had 20, 25 tench. And I had a couple of carp, about 5 or 6 pounds. All just fishing corn, close in. Similar to this. And it was just one of those red letter days. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best days fishing. Just travelled light because you got such a long walk. And I've tried it since. Can't get a bite, can't get a tench. Never had a tench out of there since. It's like there's none there. Amazing. So some days they're just not in the mood. And other days, it's one after another. I felt that on my fingers then. It took it and couldn't resist, swam off with it. So at the moment these are all more or less same size, probably about £1 each. Maybe a bit less. A little gentle easterly is picking up. So it's forecast nice weather today, but breeze getting stronger. Another reason to come early in the morning at the best of the conditions. The forecast up to about 24, 26 degrees this afternoon. I mean, it's already about 17, 18 degrees this morning, and it's not even 8 o'clock yet. Let's check that. I've lost my bait. Cast me out to bite. First one so far. I'm using a strong carp waggler rod, like a pellet waggler rod, 12 foot, sort of thing you'd use on firing a big pellet waggler out on commercial fishery. Perfect for tench fishing. Oh, I had a touch then. Good for casting wagglers, plenty of poke, but with a through action as well. Some can treat him alright, want to keep the fish out of that. And with so much oxygenating weeds along the bottom, you don't really want to let them go too far. Oh, is this a bit bigger? Might be a little bit bigger. You're just fighting harder. Might be the biggest so far. Oh yeah. Aren't they gorgeous creatures? Absolutely stunning. Another little one. Baby one. Smallest so far. Good to see little ones though, isn't it? I think this lake, because it's natural, full of weed, loads of snags. It's perfect spawning area for tench. Loads of areas for them to hide and spawning. I think that's why they thrive so well over the years. My dad used to fish this venue. As long as 40 years ago. He told me about it. Catching tench in this pond for many a year. On it straight away already. See bubbles coming up, grubbing around on the bottom for them bits of meat, competing for everything because they're getting bites so quickly. So I've brought bread flake with me as well, or some Warburtons to fish bread flake. But I've had sessions where really frustrating with bread flake. They keep picking it up and dropping it and chewing it for half an hour before they take the bait. It can be hard work sometimes with bread flake, with tench. I haven't found a better bait than Luncheon, mate, for tench. I've got a tin of corn with me, not even opened it yet. So I've got another tin of meat I can cut up, but just one tin might be enough. Oh, didn't let it take it, did I? Stuck too early. It's stolen my meat. That's no good. That could have been one of them big ones. Just lost a better one. Proper clunker. Although it's difficult to tell. Definitely wasn't a little one. Difficult to tell how big it was, but it wasn't on long. Well, it wasn't on for long enough. Bite already. In. It's unbelievable fishing when it's like this. Gone into a pile of weed. Let it swim out. It's coming with a weed, I think. Good thing about this oxygenating weed, as long as you ain't got light lines on, pile of weed and the fish are all coming together. Yeah, the fish is still on it. Only a little tench. A very big pile of weed. Little baby one. Plenty of Canadian geese down here today. There must be 100 over there where the cows come in. The one lone swan keeps coming to have a look, see if I'm going to feed him. I don't think there's any point fishing a pole for these tench. Unless you've got a margin pole with very strong elastic, maybe. It's far better off fishing with a strong waggler rod. Stepped up gear. I've got a size, I say it's a 14 hook. Wide gape, thick shank, so it doesn't bend at all. It's just about right size for these cubes of meat. I could probably get away with the 12. I'm expecting the fishing to quieten down after a couple of hours. So the early morning feed, they'll may even go and sunbathe somewhere. Trying to keep them out of the weed. Just about. Another one that's I'm going to churn all the bottom up. I'll struggle to get the bait to the bottom in a minute. If I was coming for a full day, I might rake it. Ooh, it's a nice one. Better than some of the others, but probably the second biggest so far. All of them are swallowing it. Slipping it straight in. Look how deep the colours are. Absolutely stunning fish. Big fins. No wonder they fight so hard. The size of the tail fin. This one's posing. Absolute beauty. Stunning. Bet they look beautiful in fish tanks. So I'll have a quick look at the rig. I've put my meat on. I've got a size 14 hook, the cube of meat up, £6 line straight through. I've got strung out number 8 on the £6 line. Strung out all the way through. About 6-7 foot deep. And then I've got a 1.75 gram Visi Wag 2 Drennan. with that long, with a long stem on. That allows me to see lift bites. It sinks very slowly. Shot it round to about the orange, just the bottom of the orange, perhaps just to see the yellow showing. If the bait's being held up, a little bit of yellow will show. If a couple of shots been held up on the weed, then all the yellow will show, all the bits of yellow. And I can really see exactly what's happening with the bait and the shot with a float like this. It's perfect for tench fishing. A couple of float stops either side to grip the float and allows me to adjust the depth without any problems. So that's the rig. It's working really well anyway, so there's no point in changing anything. I literally just cast that out, barely catapulted the bait out and the float had gone already. Only a little one. Not that little.
Hello, old lad.
Hello, you're alright?
Hello. Oh.
Yeah, getting a few tench.
Few tench.
A few tench, yeah. Little ones. The last time I did this, I was fishing a slightly heavier rig and a bulk, so it was dropping really quickly through the water. But I was getting the tench coming up for it, taking it on the drop, so I'm fishing a slow sinking rig this time. Oh, that's a nice fish. If you could see that there. Fish just rolled about 2 rod lengths out further than my float. Big shoals of bream in here. Fishing slightly to my left and it's getting caught in weed, not sinking properly. A bit straighter. It's definitely started to quieten off now. Time check. 9:30. What have we got? Dozen tench? I've lost 4 or 5 as well. One definitely a better one. I think that's the early morning feeding session done with. Well, I say early, because we're in September now, it's 6 o'clock in the morning before it's getting light. Well, it's still very gloomy. Right, so it's nearly 10 o'clock. I'd had one bite in about the last 40 minutes. So the swim's died as quick as it started this morning. Fish have stopped feeding. So we're going to give it probably another half an hour, I think. Give it a chance to pick up again. Fed a bit more meat. I'm still feeding. Still feeding a batch of about 10 cubes. A luncheon meeting. Hopefully bring them back in. If the smell of it draws them back in, I'll help them start feeding again. But if not, we've had a lovely morning's fishing anyway. So we'll give it another half an hour, see if it picks up. Tench fishing, it can be like that. It can, sometimes they don't feed all day, they feed all week. That's actually in L Lakes, and I used to fish there quite a bit. I never had another tench on any other days apart from that one day where the tench went crazy. I think I might manage an evening session in before the end of September down here, and on a nice hot evening. See if we can find the big ones that way. Got into a big pile of weed. But we've still got the fish? Yes, we've still got the fish on. First bite for ages. To really wait for the bites now. Been spoiled earlier on with the way they were feeding. It was a nice one. That one meant having it. Pulled the rod round. Oh yeah. This might be a carp. I think it is a carp. Oh, it's come off. Wow. Snap my hook off. So just had that lull into, caught that one little tench, cast back out again, big carp on, proper carp as well. It tore off. You can't try and let them go too far. You've got to try and hold them off. Because if they get to the middle and bury themselves in the weed, you've got no chance of getting them out. So you need to try and turn it in some way, but that bolted off. When they bolt like that, you've got to try and slow them down. Unfortunately, I lost it. The one that got away. Well, if it was a tench, it was massive, but it felt like a double figure carp. It was solid, a real solid fish that was. I'm getting indications again now, little indications the fish might be there again. Just dragging on a bit, yeah. Come on fish, if the carp comes back, or at least one of two is his mates anyway. But ordinarily when you're playing a carp you try and keep them low and settle them down. If you keep them low in this lake, they bury themselves in oxygenating weed. Very difficult to get back. So you try and keep them up above the weed and hope that they slow down and come back towards you. But that was tearing off. That was proper screaming towards the middle. I've lost my depth a bit. Another 6 inches on it. The float's starting to drift. Whereas before it was anchored on the bottom. I think the meat was holding it in place. Right, last 10 minutes. Not had a bite at all, not a proper bite since I lost that carp. So today might be the day that one got away. That was a proper fish as well, that was a right chunk. Use the last of the bait up. Dragging on a little bit. Last cast. Unless I get another fish, then I might have one more cast. But it's quiet at the minute, so probably last cast. We'll get packed away. We'll have a quick look at what we've caught. Stunning net of red-eyed tench. Loads of them. Absolute beauties. Probably the biggest one. Difficult to tell really. All very similar sort of size. That might be the biggest one. Let's have a quick look. Absolute beautiful fish. Look at these. Lovely morning's fishing, catching these beauties. And a good one there. Very ornamental looking fish, aren't they? Absolutely stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go and put back. Oh, a lovely net of fish that is. I don't know if you can see them there. Beauty. Absolutely stunning. See if you can see them go. I think that one might be the biggest one. Absolutely gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good one. 7. Baby one. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, I want them fish gorgeous. I love tench fishing and wanting to meet 3-hour session. I think they're good fun. They're great little sessions like this. Didn't get any big ones today. Lost a big carp. We'll come back from him another day. Hope you like the videos anyway. Thank you very much for watching and supporting the channel. Please remember to click the like and subscribe. And we'll speak again soon. Bye for now. Absolutely stunning. Stunning net of red-eyed tench. Loads of them. All very similar sort of size. Lovely morning's fishing, catching these beauties. And a good one there. Very ornamental looking fish, aren't they? Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful fish. Look at these. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go and put back. Oh yeah. This might be a carp.